Well, it's a clear event which basically shows that we've got new leadership in place. There's a transition that's taking place, and now we say this is now God's person for this time in this place. And so all of the symbolism of the service really point to that and show that what we're about to do, and we're getting ready to install you as the dean, is say that this is God's leader now in this place.
Marcus is being installed not just for the life of this congregation, but for the life of the diocese as well, because the cathedral is the sort of visible symbol of our unity together. Well, any cathedral is appropriately the home base of any diocese. It's the place where we all gather. We gather here for our synods. We gather here for other occasions as well throughout the year. They host many of the events of the diocese and support the ministry that we're sharing in together in the diocese. So part of it is just home base, or maybe we should say a shared home. And then I think the other piece is that they've had a long history of raising up leadership within the diocese beyond. And I'll be saying more about that as part of the sermon. But the fact is, many significant leaders began their ministry here. And not just clergy, but people who've served throughout the province as well as throughout the diocese. So it's a place where leaders are recruited, identified, and prepared.
Sure. Well, of course, all of what the bishop said is right on the money. But my first focus is that we need to be a healthy parish in order to be a healthy cathedral, and we need to understand our calling to the local community so that we can build on that to be a resource to the entire diocese. I mean, a big part of St. Peter's life is to resource other parishes, to be a place where vision is cast, where leaders are raised up. And so that's really the goal for us, is to be a healthy parish impacting the local community so that we can impact the world beyond. And we've been given the greatest treasure that has ever been entrusted to mankind in Jesus. So we look around and the world's hurting. And we know the answer. The answer is Jesus Christ.
St. Peter's here in Tallahassee in the Gulf Atlantic Diocese is not only cathedral of the diocese, but it functions as a metropolitical cathedral. That is, it has a role that's a provincial role as well as a diocesan role. And while that's not in its charter, that's effectively what's happened. When I was Archbishop, we brought the annual meeting of the Anglican Relief and Development Fund here to St. Peter's. When I was Archbishop, we brought the Provincial Council here. And indeed, when this congregation, this building was consecrated, my last act as Archbishop, I was invited here to consecrate the building. Of course, Bishop Neil was here, and it was going to be his cathedral. But we share in these things.
Why should we humble ourselves is because God is in charge of all of it. He didn't cast a vision through Christ for St. Peter's Cathedral. He cast a vision for his church. And the visible symbol of the church here on Thomasville Road in Tallahassee, Florida, may be St. Peter's Anglican Cathedral, but he's looking for a bride at the end of the age.